Sairam to all of you. In the last topic, we saw how thermodynamics concepts were included in this metallurgical processes so that we can analyze which can be the best reducing agents. And we happen to use certain examples. But there it was all practical values that we considered. So a scientist named as Ellingham, he made a lot of reactions, worked a lot, and he found out the energy components of each reactions that are present. So if we go back to our explanations of the previous topic, we had this formula delta G is equal to delta H minus T delta S. Let us also get in the equilibrium concept in this, where we had an equation as delta G naught is equal to minus RT natural logarithm K, where K indicated the equilibrium constant. Now, if this factor delta G has to be negative, which is a must for a reaction to be spontaneous, since the equation already has a negative sign, K has to be positive in nature. Remember that this criteria I am only telling for if this delta G has to be negative, K value has to come out positive in nature because there is already a negative sign available there. So for this criteria to be satisfied, a value of K being positive indicates that it is a forward reaction. We remember that the K values that we tend to write is nothing but it is equal to the concentration of product of products divided by concentration of product of reactants. So for a K value to be positive, the product value should be much higher, and that can only be possible if it is a forward reaction. So now in the Ellingham diagram, there are many reactions that are shown here. Some of them are metal reactions with oxygen to form corresponding metal oxides. Examples used are magnesium, aluminium, zinc, iron, copper, silver. Non-metals that are used here are carbon, which is carbon to oxygen reaction giving carbon dioxide, coke on reaction with oxygen to give carbon monoxide. Now what do we understand by these reactions is that, as an example, when we take a particular reaction, we have a magnesium metal which is solid, there is oxygen which is gaseous form, and this is further solid. So just as a reference, let me write this as S, G and S. What do we understand in this case is, as the reaction proceeds further, the reactant has one gas molecule, whereas the solid does not has, the product side does not has any gaseous molecule. And we also studied the entropy conditions. When gases are there, the entropy of that is very high because gases have randomness, whereas solids are properly placed with each other. So in this case, this reaction is going from the randomness to stability state in this condition, which means that the entropy value is slowly decreasing. Positive value for gases, negative value for solids. So in this reaction, the entropy value is slowly decreasing. And remember, what is this x-axis? It is an increase in temperature. So the moment I go back to this reaction now, which is delta G minus H is equal to delta H minus T delta S, the moment I consider that the entropy is decreasing, with an increase in temperature, we can see that for a particular reaction, the delta G value will go more towards positive state in this case, because entropy decreasing indicates that entropy also tends to have negative value. This is a condition because gaseous states in the reactants are not seen in the products. There is no gaseous states here. So that is why the entropy has decreased, and minus into minus happens to be plus. But then because the negative delta G values are pretty high, this axis which is there is basically delta G naught. the negative delta G values, which is actually pretty negative, this slowly, because the entropy is decreasing, the delta G value slowly increases. So you can see that almost all the metallic reactions, the curve is showing upwards. Why it's showing upwards is because the metals are reacting with a gaseous component and then they are forming solid oxide forms. So therefore, the delta G value goes on increasing. And then at some places you have a sudden change in the curve. This sudden change is the point of the change of state. What this indicates is that at these particular temperatures, there is a change of state observed in this system. Now there is one question here where almost all the metallic curves are going up, but if you see this one straight line curve of carbon with oxygen gas to form carbon dioxide gas. Why is this in a straight line, whereas everybody is going in top direction? This is so because carbon is solid, this actually is coke, oxygen is gaseous in nature, whereas carbon dioxide is also gaseous in nature. So what do we see in this reaction? There is one gas molecule in the reactant side, one gas molecule in the product side, which means that there are no changes in the total molecules of gases. Therefore, entropy does not change. Randomness remains the same because of similar number of gaseous atoms on either sides. Once entropy remains same, the delta G value which is obtained by this calculation of this equation also tends to be same. That is why the curve is in a straight line. Let us now see another curve which is only one single curve which is actually going downwards now. I think having seen the explanations of these, you must be able to guess what is the reason for this to be down. Let us go with the explanation. Carbon is in solid form, which is coke. Oxygen is in gaseous form, and remember that there is only 1 mole of oxygen. Carbon monoxide, you are getting 2 moles because you are balancing this reaction. So in this case, what has happened? There is only one gaseous molecule in the reactant side, but product side there are 2 gaseous molecules. Increase in gaseous molecules will increase randomness more. So more the entropy, naturally this entropy, for all I showed it to be down, but since there is increase in gaseous molecule, the entropy of this system increases. When entropy increases, it means that it goes towards positive value for gases. This tends to be positive. So an increase in temperature, once again refer the x-axis, 0 degree, 400 degree, 800 degree, 1200 degree. So an increase in temperature is leading to increase in the entropy of the system. Thereby the negative value will increase. That is why if you see, delta G values are becoming more and more negative as the temperature is increasing. So this is just a study of Ellingham diagram as to how Ellingham studied the relationship between formation of oxides and its corresponding Gibbs free energy. So what is its use for us in metallurgy now? That is an important factor that we have to study. In metallurgy, these graphical lines tell us which can be used as a better reducing agent for any reaction to take place. In this case, magnesium oxide leading is here, which is more like a formation of magnesium and oxygen with magnesium oxide formation. In this cases, magnesium metal can act as a reducing agent for this Al2O3. So if you want to reduce Al2O3 back to Al, it means that you can use magnesium metal because the Gibbs free energy for this is pretty higher to the negative side. But this process is applicable only to this temperature as such. Because after this temperature, you are seeing the magnesium metal going to the higher direction. So here what you can understand is those metal oxides or metals which are below, they can act as a reducing agent for upper metal oxides to reduce easily. So therefore, magnesium can help in reduction of aluminum oxide to aluminum. This is a factor which we see theoretically, but practically this is not being employed because it becomes a costly process. So therefore, aluminum process or extraction of aluminum, we rather go for electrochemical processes, which we study in the next part. Coming to other factors here, we have zinc metal which can be reduced. If you see here, except for these two metals down, all these tend to use carbon or coke as a reducing agent, or they can also use carbon monoxide. Now that is because the carbon monoxide line which happens to be present here is in this direction at this particular place. So therefore, either you can use carbon, or this equation is carbon monoxide reacting with oxygen gas to form carbon dioxide, and for balancing sake we have it as 2CO and 2CO2. This reaction also is going upwards because in these cases which are there, the molecular systems are present in gaseous form and solids form. So here what we see is that those carbon metals which are present, carbon will act as a reducing agent for many of these compounds. Now if you see the zinc to zinc oxide reaction, zinc to zinc oxide, the curve is present below here, which means that at lower temperatures you cannot reduce zinc, but say at higher temperatures above this you can reduce zinc very easily with coke, because above this temperature you are having the carbon to carbon monoxide line downwards, whereas the zinc to zinc oxide line has gone up. So as I have already told you, whichever curves are below can reduce the ones which are above them. Similarly, in the case of copper, for this copper also you can use these carbon as reducing agent or carbon monoxide as reducing agent. Those which are very high and have a positive delta G values, they need not have any reducing agents, they can reduce by themselves. So if you just have this oxide of Ag2O and if you just heat it, that will be more than enough for you to obtain silver metal and oxygen gas, because their delta G values are already positive in nature. So this is how the application of Ellingham diagram is seen. So with this basic concepts of this Ellingham diagram, we tend to see the extraction of some particular metals in our study in the further parts. Thank you. Sai Ram.